What's up, everyone? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. Today, we're talking some college football week 13. It is the Thursday slate, which is just one game. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. Thank you for doing that. If you have, it helps us a ton. And we're brought to you by Bet365. They have a deal right now where you can bet $5 on any game, could be a side or total, whether it wins or loses, you are getting $150 in the form of bonus bets. And better yet, if you head to Odd Shopper, all you'll do to get an extra part of this promo is hover over the little Tails logo at the top, click Get Expert Picks Free. You're going to find Bet365 right here. You claim offer, you're getting everything I just mentioned, but you are also getting 1 month of Tails. There are a slew of creators in there, myself, Ben, a lot of different people that do all kinds of different sports. There's literally something for everyone. You get a month of that on top of your Bet365 bonus, and all you have to do is follow the steps right here at the top. If you do more than one, so Bet365, Caesars, BetMGM, if you did all three, that would be 3 months. An incredible offer that will not be around forever, so make sure you take advantage of this while it lasts. Of course, if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. You must be 21 or older to play in most areas. All right. Single game, we have NC State taking on Georgia Tech. I'll bring you behind the glass. Here is our live odds NCAA screen at Odd Shopper. As you can see, Georgia Tech has settled in around an 8.5 point favorite in most spots. The total in this game currently sits at 52.5. It's moving to 52 in some spots. It's kind of jumped around a little bit since open. It's been as low as 51.5, which is something that's interesting to me when you look at these teams overall. You have bad pace. NC State is 127th in seconds per play. Georgia Tech is 94th. And Georgia Tech is one of these teams that's been super sensitive game to game. And it largely is just dependent on whether the game is competitive or not. If they're winning, they are very, very willing to just take their foot off the gas in terms of pace and just ride that run game to victories. Now, injury-wise, both these teams are actually a little healthier than they have been recently. NC State is mostly healthy. They lost Grayson McCall earlier this season, so they've been having to play a freshman in CJ Bailey. On defense, Devon Boykin finally began practicing. I don't think he's going to play yet in this game. He's one of their defensive backs, an expected starter who hasn't played yet. They did lose Caden Fordham at linebacker. He's out for the year. On Georgia Tech, Jamal Haynes got hurt almost immediately in their last game. Both these teams have now had a bye, so perhaps we're healthier just because of the extra rest time. But Jordan Brown at tackle's also been out. They've had a lot of players either missing or playing limited snaps on defense. Saeed Gibbs, Warren Burrell, 2 defensive backs. Kyle Efford missed their second most recent game. Then he came back and he played a very limited role, 30 snaps. The bye would probably do him as well as a lot of these players some good. But Georgia Tech is the more banged up team. We all know about Haynes King. He's playing through an injury to some degree, but all should be well in this spot. I think NC State is actually pretty live this year, especially now that Bailey's had some time to get used to college football. I mean, talk about a tough adjustment, thrown right to the fire. His first start came against Clemson. They still put up 35 points in that game, albeit mostly in the fourth quarter. And then they had a pretty rough go of it the rest of the way. There's definitely been some ups and some downs. They lost to Wake Forest. They actually had a 56% post-game win expectancy, lost to Syracuse by 7, beat a bad Cal team, beat Stanford, who's bad. And then they lost to Duke by 10 points, who's actually a little bit better than we thought. But what has Georgia Tech really done outside of the Miami win? They've lost some games they shouldn't have. In fact, they lost 2 straight. Georgia Tech lost to Notre Dame and Virginia Tech. But prior to that, pretty good wins. Florida State, Georgia State, VMI, North Carolina, and then Miami. It's just been up and down for both of these teams. When you look at quarterback, CJ Bailey completing 64.5% of his passes for 7.9 yards per attempt. He has 13 turnover-worthy plays. Only 5 of those have been converted to interceptions, so he's been running a little hot. And Haynes King, he's been very good this year. He only has 1 turnover-worthy play. It has been converted to an interception, but he's been solid. When you look at the underlying metrics and the core of these two teams, both of them are pretty strong. NC State is a good offensive line. They're 5th in pass blocking, 29th in run blocking. Georgia Tech also has an awesome offensive line. They're 16th in pass blocking, 47th in run blocking. Defense is pretty good for NC State. They're strong everywhere across the board. Their worst metric is their 77th ranked pass rush. They're 63rd against the run, 50th in coverage. Georgia Tech has definitely been a little weaker on defense. They have the 126th ranked pass rush, 107th ranked coverage unit. They've had some injuries, which we talked about. I think with CJ Bailey playing a little better of late, with Concepcion at receiver, and Jolly, too, at tight end, you have some ways to potentially score on this Georgia Tech team. I actually think NC State is somewhat live coming off the bye. And otherwise, you can always play something like an under. It's hovering around a key number of 52 right now. But there are 52.5s out there. You'll probably play a little bit of juice, but I think those are both in play for this game. Expecting a slow game based on the run, largely for both teams, with NC State having an avenue through the air. If Bailey can keep his head on his shoulders, not turn the ball over, and just deliver the ball to his two premier playmakers in the pass game, Jolly and Concepcion. That'll do it for us today. We'll be back talking Friday, Saturday, and everything in between. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below or reach out to me on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski. Until next time, good luck. We'll see you later.